Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got this sleek, swooping, and sexy 2020 Mustang GT. Now, as you can see, the top is down, because why wouldn't you when you've got a car like this that sounds this good, drives this well, and carries this much of an image. So this is going to be our review of the Mustang GT Convertible. If you guys like the video here, we hope you hit that subscribe button, help us out, smash like, all the good YouTube positive vibes. Let's get this stick out of the way. Out of the way of our cool rear of our Mustang. Did get a little dirty here, had it in some rain, actually, as we were out doing the highway fuel economy test for this car. Check out that video linked in the description to see how the Mustang did at a steady state 70 mile per hour test. You can also check a link in the description for our sound test on the 9-speaker audio system here in the Mustang GT Premium. Popping open the trunk here, you do have a little tiny button right up under there that you can press. Pop the trunk. Decent amount of space in here. The opening is not very wide, which does kind of limit what you can put in there, but it goes back pretty darn far, even with the convertible mechanism, so you can fit a lot of stuff. What are these things, you might ask? Well, those are for you to cover this little bit of opening right there. I know that's not exactly how they fit on, but you can sort of slide them in there. If you're going to have the top down for an evening, it looks that just much crisper to have that covered. But we will leave those off because we will be putting the top up during this test. We also did a live drive on this car. Some of you may have tuned in, saw me and Alyssa out checking out the car and seeing all the cool things about it, answering your questions live. So if that's something you might be interested in, subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for our live drives. We've typically been doing them Tuesday evenings for about an hour, about 7 o'clock Eastern time. Just another perspective on the car, allows us to talk about it a bit and experience it along with you guys before doing these reviews. So in the back of the Stanger, you can pull the seat back with this mechanism. Maybe. Come on. Man, it's like stuck. Huh, weird. I have to use the handle up there. You do have a little cutout for your knees, but your back is super straight up and down, so you're kind of just like awkwardly sitting upright back here. It's not uncomfortable. I mean, obviously headroom is great. We'll have to try it with the top up. But it's not somewhere I'd want to be for a long time. It's just a weird body position. Definitely more kid-friendly, I would say. You can let yourself out. Oh, your feet are kind of stuck under the seat. Prevents you from doing a cool hop-out move. Put that back in there. I have to look up. I can't remember what this interior color is called, but I do kind of like it. I think it's cool breaking from just the norms of browns and blacks and grays and doing something cool like this red leather. Feels nice too. It's a pretty good feel. All the materials actually feel quite good here in the Mustang. I'm impressed. This metal material, it's actually plastic, but metal looking material up here. Steering wheel leather, even the shift knob and the parking brake. These toggle switches, I love those. You can just do that all day. Oh. Let's take a quick look at the window sticker. Original right here. 2020 GT Convertible Premium. 6-speed manual. Iconic silver is the color of the outside, and showstop red leather is the interior. Quite nice. This car does have the 401A package and the GT Performance package for $4,000, giving us the 75, the summer tires, 275s in the rear, 255s in the front, spoiler delete, and a 373 rear axle. Base price on this bad nasty, $52,420. That's either not too bad or way too much, depending on who you talk to. But I've built out quite a few convertible Mustangs, just kind of pondering the idea over the last few years, and It's considering all the different options and everything, you're going to be hard pressed to keep it too much under $50,000. But with this kind of performance, you might have to be okay with that. This 5-liter V8 is a pretty impressive engine. When you consider that you can pay a base GT, you're looking like $38,000 for an engine, a V8 that can rev way up to 75 grand. That's a pretty cool time we live in. I'm actually going to use these, a little tip from the Topher tip. If you haven't seen his channel, head on over there. Throw a link in the description. He and I work together, and he told me to wear these little 180 earmuffs, and that makes it so you guys don't get any annoying wind noise with the top down. So drive a bit with the top down here, and then we'll put it up partway through the drive and do the rest. I should show you a little bit of this gauge cluster first. You're not going to be able to see it super well, so let me just take my helmet off. The camera right in there. Hopefully that allows you to really see the gauges. That's tough to get it in there. That's what she said. Go using the steering wheel, I can go down to my color, and I can change. Let's do this one to red. That already was red. This one to red, and then the primary color to this, was it the third mic? Yeah. You can change ambient light colors as well. But so now, everything's a totally different look in the gauge cluster. It's kind of cool. It's nifty. What else is cool is that you can actually create colors. So you can tune it exactly how you'd like it to look. Just like so. And then actually go in and choose those customized colors. Pretty nifty. So let's do the primary color. Let's pick gray, really? Huh. Let's go green. Yeah. Alright. It's a pretty cool multifunction gauge display. I'll also show you while we're here. I'll see what I'm driving to. This is normal mode. If you switch drive modes into Sport Plus, then you get that little bit of the tack. It's kind of angled up there. And if you go into track mode, oops, that's steering. If you go into track mode there, then the tack goes all the way across the top, and your speedometer is just digital. It's kind of cool. I'm going to put it into my mode, which is track driving with comfort steering. Let's get moving. Get some airflow. Now the clutch is probably the biggest downside of the Mustang GT in general. It's just a tough throw. It's tough to get the right feel for it. It's not very intuitive. It's an easy car to stall. It's very light at the very top of the throw. And then as you let it out, the grab point is sort of smooth but hard to feel. You kind of like it to feel where the car is grabbing. But like if I'm at a stop here, oh, it actually gives itself some revs. That's interesting. So I'm not touching the gas right now, you'll see. My foot's up here. Actually applies some throttle. But anyway, there's like a, I don't know. It's tough to drive. Just take my word for it. Speaking of the gearbox, another frustration is that the gears are so long. I was joking around that I could drive this thing in third gear all the time. In fact, I might even do a video, depending on how I feel after this, on doing an entire test drive in third gear. "50 miles per hour just in first." And it's just kind of a bummer because it's like any sort of legal driving speed, you only get one good shift in there. You get first gear, then you get second, and then you're done. You're going 80-some miles per hour. We'll have to see on the straight how fast you can go in second gear. But the gears are just so long, and part of that is because this engine revs so high. I mean, you're talking 7,400 RPM redline. You can just really stretch them out. But for day-to-day driving, it's kind of a bummer because I'd rather just sort of get a surge of power down low and then shift my next gear, surge of power, next gear, surge of power. And this engine doesn't really make a surge of power until you get up 4,000 or 5,000 RPM. So you're constantly having to drop gears and really wring it out to get any sort of satisfaction. And it does satisfy. That is for sure. It's just not the type of character I would want from a town cruiser mobile. It's more of a race car characteristic. I am utilizing the rev matching function, which is very nice. Those of you who are not familiar, helps with smooth upshifts and downshifts. So you can see if I want to go back up into third gear, I don't even have to blip the gas. The car just automatically brings the engine speed up to where it should be for that gear, and then when I release the clutch, it's nice and smooth. .7 miles per hour in second gear. Do a little 60 stop here. And a little launch. Whoops, too much. Let's try that again. Good fun. The coolest thing about the Mustang is just how it makes you feel. It's tough to watch reviews and read things about this car, these type of cars I should say, because the paper doesn't tell the whole story. Numbers don't tell the whole story. Driving characteristics are really where it's at. I mean, I for one would much rather, for driving experience, have a Camaro SS, but I gotta be honest with you, the feel that the Mustang gives you, the inside, the feel inside and the sounds it makes and how high you can rev it out, I mean, it's a pretty cool experience. Not only that, but just coming up and looking at the car. I mean, seeing the car parked out wherever I am, even in the driveway or taking it out in the evening or something, just feels and looks, it's just so cool. It's a nice image that everybody appreciates. Car doesn't have a real stigma to it. It's a good old American icon. And I appreciate that, and a lot of other people appreciate that too. For being a convertible, this thing sure is not giving up any sort of handling characteristics, my goodness. Alright, 70 miles per hour, and car calms down, and it allows me to really mention one of the best things about this car, and that is the ride. It's so good. It's so smooth. I'm really impressed. This does not have the MagnaRide. There's no adaptive suspension here, but I've taken this on, I've driven it around quite a bit, including on our highway test, and all the bumps, it's just, for these bad Michigan roads, you would think it'd be a lot crashier and harsher than it is. The seats, even though they're, upon first inspection, very comfortable, very plush, they are actually lacking a good amount of support once you get in them for over an hour or so. There's just, you kind of find yourself shuffling around a bit. But my goodness, this is like an American Grand Tourer. And it's only the GT. I mean, we're not talking any special edition car. This broken pavement, you can hear it sounds solid, it feels good. It's a really easy car to drive too. I like having it just in comfort steering, very light, manageable. The gauges are nice and easy to read. Sync 3 works excellently. Should have had it on the map for you guys. Not really anything to say about it other than it's just a good, solid, easy to use infotainment system. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, so I like having that. Based on the 27 miles to the gallon we got on our highway test, you could drive this thing 400 miles or so on a tank of fuel if you're just cruising the highway. You know, I was excited to get a Mustang. I mean, it's hard not to. It's a cool muscle car, performance car, pony car, whatever you want to call it. But I'm still happy with it. A week is not enough time. It's a mixture of being so easy to drive and also so pleasant, all at the same time. My complaints are small, and they're just that clutch, kind of the transmission in general, the long gearing. But I mean, those are all kind of characteristics of the car, so it's kind of like, well, what do you expect, sort of thing. And I understand that. The only other thing is just knowing that the Camaro SS exists. I really do not like the looks of the facelifted Camaro. I kind of like the 2016 to 2018 appearance much better. But oh my god, I love the small block Chevy engine, that 6.2 liter, and I love the 6-speed transmission in the Chevy. So just knowing that car exists, even if it doesn't look quite as good as the Mustang, and the interior's not as easy to see out of, that's for sure. I was going to say not as nice, but the interior of a 2SS Camaro is quite nice as well. So the good thing is they're both so darn good that wherever your allegiances lie, Ford or Chevy, you can get those. And then there's always the Dodge Challenger, which is a hoot as well. You just can't get the old drop top. I'll tell you what though, that exhaust is like just loud enough. It's just the right amount that when you're on it, it sounds really good, but when you're off it, it just kind of fades into the background. I'm not bummed that this isn't the active exhaust. I think Ford has really done well not to screw this car up. It's kind of a shame that they're diluting the brand a bit by tossing an electric vehicle in there. I just don't think a 4-door electric crossover is the right thing to call a Mustang. But hey, speaking of the devil right here. No? Okay. Camaro owners. I think this is the way a Mustang should be. Good old burbly V8. Very nice. Gearbox is very easy to get into reverse. Lift up the little collar and got this good camera here with some backup sensors as well. Push button. And we're off. Pop the trunk, and we'll also hop in the back, check out the headroom in the convertible with the top down. Or top up, I mean. Oh my gosh, it's already a lot harder to get into. Oh, crawl back. Okay, headroom, not awful. I am hitting the clothy part, but I still have a good ways to go. I like it's pushing in. It's a soft barrier, if you will. But yeah, I'd probably kind of sit. If I can get this back. Why doesn't it want to do this? Is it broken? I don't know what the deal is on that. Ford quality, I guess. I would probably kind of sit forward a little bit, but then I'd get tired of that and want to sit back. And yeah, 5'10" headroom, not fantastic. Oh, shoot, I gotta get out of here. Oh man, oh gosh. Oh, headphone came out, microphone going. Oh, that's not something I'd want to be doing regularly. Still more room than a 911 though. Right, pop open this hood. Here she is, the 5.0 Coyote. Got the strut tower brace there. Pretty gnarly. All right, well there you have it. The 2020 Ford Mustang convertible. Pretty good job by Ford. Always happy when I get a chance to drive something like this. Back when Ford Performance was doing it right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out our other content on the Mustang and all of our other videos. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.